Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is your boy Junior, aka Smoking Guns, out here in Tucson, Arizona, representing the Ultimate Trainer. So what today's video is going to be on is how to build a strong core. Okay? How to build a strong core. Main reason I'm coming up with this video is because I always be having people coming up to me all the time talking about, yeah, I need to build up my core and this and that. And first thing fools want to talk about, yeah, I need to do more stomach crunches and this, whoop-de-woo, and this and that. And a lot of people have a real big misconception about building up your abs and building up a strong core, because they are both, they work together, but they're two different things. If you want six-pack abs, that's different from having a strong core. And having a strong core is just a little bit different from having six-pack abs, okay? I mean, you can get, I know people that can get six-pack abs and don't even have to work their friggin' abs, you know what I mean? But it's just like that for some people. Some people, it's just their genetics, so forth and so forth. But like I said, when you want to build a strong core, first things first is you have to actually realize what the core is. The core isn't just your abdominal muscles or your abs, okay? The core is actually a bunch of different muscles that work synergistically together, okay? One of the major muscles, or not one of the major muscles, but the major muscle groups that involve the core are the pelvic floor muscles. Pelvic floor muscles, not only that, you have your transverse abdominal muscles, which are pretty much on the inside, the actual inner layer of your abdominal muscles. Then you have your internal and external obliques. The internal obliques are actually right over the transverse abdominal muscles, and then you have your external obliques, which are the outside. And then you have your ab muscles, which are the actual six-pack abs that you guys have, or if you have an 8-pack or whatever pack you guys have. And then you have your spinal erectors. Now your spinal erectors, those are the muscles that actually run along the spine, okay? You got your spine, and then you have the spinal erector muscles, which actually intertwine and run along the spine, okay, which helps strengthen the spine, okay? And then you have your diaphragm. Now your diaphragm is pretty much what separates your internal organs from your abdominal wall, okay? So after that, you have your minor muscles. Your minor core muscles work like your lats and your butt muscles, like the glutes and stuff like that. Those are the minor muscles. All these muscles work synergistically together in order to be able to maintain core strength and core stability, okay? Now, with maintaining core strength and core stability, they're two different things, okay? Now, what does the core do? The core, pretty much, it stabilizes the spine and the pelvis to be able to support balance, to be able to support strength, and to be able to protect the organs and your central nervous system, okay? Now, the difference between core strength and core stability, because like I said, they're two different things. They both work together, but they're still two different things, okay? When you're working core strength is the muscle's ability to be able to generate force or to be able to create strength against some kind of resistance or workload, okay? Now, when you have core stability is the ability to be able to maintain a stable or neutral spinal position, to where not only are you maintaining balance, but what you're doing is you're controlling any unwanted movement in the spine, okay? And one good example about that is like when you're doing a plank or when you're doing a push-up. Have you ever seen somebody do a plank or do a push-up, and when they're doing their plank, they're trying to hold it straight, but then their back just arc in like that? Hell no, man. That's all jacked up, man. Poor stability, poor strength, because like I said, the stability and the strength, they work together, but they're both different. Once you are able to keep your spine in a stable position, then that's when you are able to build the core strength along the muscles of the core, not along the muscles of the core. Well, yeah, pretty much along the muscles of the core muscles, in order to be able to maintain that position. Because you might have some sort of stability for a quick second, but then if you don't have good core strength, then it will slowly just jack your ass the hell up, okay? So like I said, they both work together, because without stability, you can't have core strength, because you can't be able to put any kind of weight or resistance on your body in order to be able to build the strength, okay? Now, once you are able to build some once you are able to build some sort of stability within your core, that's when you are able to add resistance and add some kind of weight load to be able to build the strength, utilizing the muscles that involve the friggin' core, which I told you already, you know what I'm saying? The pelvic floor muscles, abdominal muscles, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, and all that, okay? Now, some of the best compound exercises that you guys can be able to do to be able to build a strong-ass core, there's there's 4 different ones I'm going to tell you guys right now. There's actually a bunch of different ones, and I'm going to go from my the lowest to the bottom, and it's up to debate on which one you think is the best, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, whatever. But number 4 is the overhead squat. The overhead squat is even better than the actual squat, just for the simple fact is when you're doing the overhead squat, you actually have to maintain hella balance and stability and being able to keep that weight above you while you are doing your squat are performing that squat exercise, okay? It involves hella core strength and hella core stability and being able to do that, okay? So, number 4, overhead squat. Number three is called a suitcase carry. A suitcase carry is very similar to a farmer's walk. A farmer's walk, you have weights in both hands, right? You have them at your side. Ooh, excuse me. Keeping yourself nice and straight, nice good posture, and you are walking to a considerable amount of distance. Where the suitcase carry is a lot better than the farmer's walk, just for the simple fact is, well, so a lot better for your core than the farmer's walk. Just for the simple fact is, when you do a suitcase carry, you only have the weight in one hand, and when you have that weight in one hand, you don't have another weight to be able to balance that weight. So you have to actually use your core more in being able to straighten yourself up and to straighten your posture in order to be able to generate that friggin' movement. Okay, so number 3 is called a suitcase carry. Very, very great exercise to be able to strengthen up your core. Number 2 is called an overhead kneeling press, or a kneeling overhead press, whichever one you want to call it. Now, a kneeling overhead press is just like the overhead press. Only difference is when you're doing a kneeling overhead press, you're on your knees and you are doing the overhead press with either dumbbells or kettlebells. You could use a barbell if you want. I would use dumbbells just because you can have actually a lot more control over the dumbbells, because you don't have to worry about picking up a big ass barbell when you're doing that exercise. But doing a kneeling overhead press, when you're doing a standing overhead press, you can actually use your legs to be able to generate the movement to be able to jump that weight up. Okay, but when you're doing a kneeling overhead press, you have to keep your glutes sucked in, you have to keep a proper posture and balance, and you are using nothing but your core to be able to keep that balance, and nothing but the actual strength to be able to push that damn weight up. And like I said, the difference between that is when you're doing a standing overhead press, you can actually use your legs to be able to jump that friggin' weight up. Okay, so number 2, kneeling overhead press. Number 1 exercise, you guys can debate about it all you want. I don't care. It's one of my favorite exercises, and in my other videos, I give this exercise much props, and I love this exercise. If I had to give up every other exercise and just pick one, this would be my number 1 exercise I'd go to, is the deadlift. Pretty much the deadlift, pretty much one of the best core compound exercises that you guys can be able to do to build up your core strength. It pretty much activates every single muscle fiber in your body, all the way from your friggin' legs to your friggin' traps, okay? And it's stimulating your central nervous system, part of the core, because like I said, the core, or not the, the core, it's pretty much made up of your organs and the central nervous system, which is being protected by the diaphragm. Okay, so very, very important exercise that you guys can be able to do to build up a strong core. And for you beginners, beginning exercise that you guys can do, you can just do regular planks, or being able to hold a push-up position without your back caving in. Okay, so I hope you guys like the video. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit up my sponsors. Hit up my sponsor, RSP Nutrition. Hit up my sponsor, Lions Life Aesthetics. Hit up my sponsor, Determined Records. And if anybody's out there in the Tucson, Arizona area, you need any kind of ink, any artwork done, any tats, make sure to hit up my boy Levi over at Tattoo Avenue. He'll be sure to hook you guys up, okay? Make sure to tell him Junior sent you. He'll hook you up, all right? So I hope you guys like the video. Holla at your boy.
I swear, just wait up.